Yes, we are taking you home. And this Love Day Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. We are back at it again on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, the 4th day of May, the year of our Lord 2024. The time right now is 1 minute past 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as we do it every Saturday, we have a very special show for you. As a matter of fact, we are going to be able to go into how South Africa ticks, because it seems South Africa has been in the music revolution for so many years. South Africa has given us so many revolutionary musicians, starting from Miriam Makeba, the Black Mambazo, Focalistic, so many of them. So many artists. So, you know what? They have also come up with AMAPIANO music. So they didn't start right from now. During the apartheid era, they were singing so many revolutionary and music from their hearts. And today, we find ourselves facing South Africa again with the music revolution in terms of AMAPIANO music, which started in 2012. Yes, to be honest with you. And it has transcended so many borders. And a lot of people are using the sound. I love the sound myself. My name is DJ TYB, the place to be. We are in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Temperature plus 19 degrees Celsius. And I have with me, well-dressed, yes, Ron Mollinga is with us. Hi, Ron. How you doing?
Hey, TYB, I'm doing great today. Yeah, and here in the West Coast on Vancouver Island, it's about 15 degrees, some nice blue skies. Just came off a bike ride. Hope all your listeners are enjoying beautiful weather as well. And if you're not, at least you're probably getting some rain you probably need. However, here in British Columbia, fabulous, absolutely fabulous day today. So no, I'm not dressed special for any particular reason. Just because TYB, well, because of you. No, actually, there's a great song out. I thought about this.
That's right.
There's a great song.
Yeah.
And it says, it was by this group that did it, and it was a 3-piece group. I won't tell you who it is. You know, maybe people can look it up. It's called Every Girl's Crazy About a Sharp-Dressed Man. So that's why I did it today. Just because.
Yes. Indeed. You know, Ron, last week we had a very successful and a very great program. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. We invited Fasil, who is co-producing the music that you guys have been bringing out with you. And it was such a delightful conversation. And I would like to say that it was well received. And I'm so happy for you. The song Claustrophobic, I've listened to it so many times on this radio network, and sometimes I'm saying to myself, wow, do I know the person who produced this? And do I know the person who is on the track doing the lead singing? Yes, of course I know that. And it was such a great pleasure having you and Fasil explaining things to the audience, those of you watching us and those of you listening to us on Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. How was your week, by the way?
My week was fine, other than my wife is away. She's helping her father do some stuff in a whole different town. So I've been doing pretty much nothing but, well, keeping the house fine, looking fine, and just playing a lot of music and recording music. There's that wonderful Petra. It's nice to see you today, ma'am. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, Love Bay family. Hey, Ron. Hey, TYB.
Hi.
Hey.
You know, Petra.
Looking very dapper today, Ron.
Well, hey, as I said earlier, every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man.
You know, I'm like...
Yeah. Well, Petra, when I saw him, when he came on the screen, I said, Ron, where the heck are you going? He says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm dressed for the show. So, well.
I love it. I
So I
love
used
Yes,
to,
yes, yes.
so I used to
Those of
dress
you
every
just,
day as a teacher.
that's right.
it. I was
Joining
gonna
us for
say,
this.
yes, sir.
Those of you joining us for the right time, we'll be joined with EeQue, our special guest. He's in Uganda, and he'll be joining us in about 10 minutes or so. And before we do that, last week, as we were discussing, we had a very great time with Fasil and Ron. And before we get before we get our special guest, we'd like to go back and look at some of the stuff. And since that time, what has happened with respect to claustrophobic and the world's best friend, and how's it going, Ron?
I would say it's going fine. We have had a lot of discussion about what we brought up or talked about. I don't know if this is after the program or before, about when we should release songs and how soon we should release them and when they should happen. He and I had a lot of discussion about this, and we are still going. I don't know if I want to say we're sitting like on the fence on this, because that means I don't know which way we're going to go. However, I think we're probably just going to keep trying to release songs, give them a month or something. I know that was advised against maybe doing that. However, we just thought we have so many songs that if we wait 6 months for every song to go out, I might be dead by that time. So, so it's just one of those things where he and I thought, we'll just release them whenever we feel that it's the time to do it. And when we feel that they've come to their fruition, as we say, as to right or wrong, I've heard both sides on this. So I would say that's where Fasil and I have been talking lately a lot about. And of course, songs that we're doing right now, I'm mixing and mastering a new one. It's sort of an Afrobeat, but I tell you, it's so different. It's so different. Right off the start, there's a ripping guitar solo in it. So that right off the bat changes the whole perspective on Afrobeat music. And it even has a pickup measure. Those who know pickup measures know it goes 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, bang. The bang comes in before the song actually comes on. So it's just totally different. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted something different. So that's where we're working right now on this song. It's an Afrobeat, but I wouldn't call it a typical Afrobeat song. So
it's good to have like as an artist, it's good to feel good if the project that you're embarked on is doing great, and you know what, it is the epitome of whatever we do. And you know what, it was just something that came during the conversation that is it good to release? As a matter of fact, there was we had there's another program, the Safe Room with Sean Williams, that comes up every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he had a very great guest, and she is a social media manager and a content creator, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, sure.
And she said, if you want to post, especially on social media, what you start is how you end it. If you're posting, say, 3 times a day, continue to do that. If you're posting once a day, continue to do that. But if you constantly post, then you have to continue to post. But then it's got its own identity, which is burnout. Burnout easily. Very. It was within that context. And then when she brought up that kind of situation, I said to myself, there might be some sort of a truth in that. But then we are talking about posting something on internet, on social media, and then music, right? So if we say that, then, there's a difference. So I'm glad that we were able to bring it up. And also after the show, you were able to discuss it and then take it down. That's how this show is all about. We come out with some suggestions and solutions and conversations, and we take it from there. Petra, how was your week?
Yeah, my week was fantastic. Thank you. You know, we're
That's
back.
too bad. I mean, that's good. That's good.
I mean, it is too bad. I find like time is going by pretty quick these days. But yeah, I'm definitely happy. Had a great week. A lot accomplished. I just left my fitness class. So yeah, I feel pumped and ready to go, you know?
Yeah. And I don't know how Petra does it. Because the thing is, after doing all these things, and then you don't see like gee, my neck, my left, right, all those kind of stuff. I guess if you do it constantly or every time, your body gets adjusted to it. I believe that's how it is, right? And today we know that Petra is having some technical problems out there, but we'll deal with it. Well, Ron, let's look at our guest today.
EeQue.
EeQue, yeah, EeQue is the breakout AMAPIANO star. And I've looked at him, and I've looked at his music. I've listened to the music, and he's a young man, and he's worked with some of the best. And you know what? I'm not so surprised that, you know what, everything that is coming out of South Africa is going great. And you know, there are so many of them out there. In your neck of the woods, how do you see African music? Because we've been talking a lot about Afrobeats. And now we've shifted a little bit to African. And then AMAPIANO music is there. It was there, started 2012, and it's grown. And it's a yardstick that a lot of our musicians use to measure whether they have to collab, and if they are going to collab, which is going to be the dominant kind of a rhythm out there. From where I sit, I think AMAPIANO is so powerful. So no matter who you are, no matter how you write, and if you want to collab with an AMAPIANO artist, be careful, because what you bring onto the table will not be sufficient to swallow the rhythms and the entire AMAPIANO music genre. And I know you've had the time to listen to some of AMAPIANO music. What's your take on it, please?
Well, I'll tell you from the musician's standpoint, because that's why I tend to listen to everything as. I would say the biggest thing I notice about AMAPIANO, one of the things right off the bat, tempo difference between it and Afrobeat. Afrobeat sits at somewhere, I would say 80 to 110, maybe 120 beats per minute. Whereas AMAPIANO tends to be quite considerably faster in terms of its tempo. I'm noticing a lot bigger and longer songs in terms of their, you know, like as we were doing, or as I did over the last few days, listening to EeQue, and one of the songs is 7.5 minutes long. The next one is like 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
So we're not talking short little blips of music here. We're talking a lot that's going on in them to make them that long. I do have questions about it, of course, like always. However, it's the big difference I'm noticing is lots of singers too. I'm noticing a lot more percussion as well in it. And certainly lengthwise, they go on for quite a while by comparison. If we comparing it to Afrobeat, and I've noticed even some AMAPIANO will not have that tick, 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 tick beat. It has a different sort of feel to it. Yes. This is the musician again in me talking. But from the listener standpoint, I'm gonna guess, I would say the biggest thing you'll notice right off the bat, length, and also the amount of singers. Sometimes there's more than one singer on the song often, but that happens in lots of genres. However, it's just there are some things that are completely different, and that's good. That's why you like genre differences. Yeah, that's what I would. That's sort of my take on AMAPIANO.
Yeah, you know, and Petra, you have any comment on AMAPIANO music? We're talking in terms of AMAPIANO music. Having right now, if I'm a reggae artist and I want to collab with an AMAPIANO musician, my music will be drawn by the sounds of AMAPIANO. It's so powerful, such powerful that it has come to stay. because it's now on a par with Afrobeat music. What's
Mm-hmm.
your take on it?
Well, to be honest, my journey into Amapiano is pretty new, you know. But I do love the sound of Amapiano. It has a very fresh sound, you know. I find like I love Afrobeat no matter what, you know. For me, I feel more of the bass, you know, in Afrobeat, where Amapiano has a lot of like high ends, and I just love the vibe. I love EQ's music, you know. It takes me away, you know. So I'm really looking forward to speaking with him and just speaking with him about how he structures the song, um, the topics, you know, and just pretty much just to kind of hear my story. So I'm looking forward to that. And King, this is hi.
Hey, how you doing, man?
The hi, King, you're live on the radio.
Hi.
Hi.
And as I opened the show, what I said was that South African music has been dominant from time immemorial, from the apartheid era through Miriam Makeba, Lucky Dube. We have the Black Mambazo, we have Miriam Makeba, we have Hugh Masakela, and all these are giants when it comes to African music. So if a lot of people don't know a lot about South African music, they better check it out because they've been there. They were right from the beginning. They were there. But I'm so glad to be going through South Africa to get, you know, to have a conversation with artists from there. We had the Sonra group. We had Focalistic. Yeah, Focalistic, if you're listening, wherever you may be, yes, your buddies are here. And I'm so happy to, I'll be asking EeQue when he joins us, how he was able to get together with Focalistic, who's a giant in the Amapiano music industry. And I'm so glad that gradually we are getting closer to getting to know more about South African music than any other music or any other genre that we've been going through over the years on this platform. Now, my next thing before we get EeQue is to run. We discussed about just like how we were discussing about the rapid release of songs. I'm very, very interested in that. And you had a very good discussion. Yes, because today, if you lose 1 second, there's so many projects that have been, you know what, if I can put it that way, that have been released. So many, during COVID, so many musicians didn't go out. And what did they do? A lot of them wrote a lot of music. And so now the whole atmosphere is saturated with music. So, you know what, yes, so many. So today you hear this, tomorrow is the same, you know, something different and all those kind of stuff. So I think I'm in tune with what you say, because if you can't join them, what how do you say that? If you can't beat them, you join them.
Join them.
Your take on it, Ron.
Yeah, you know, and what is very difficult as well on top of that is to add to your sort of asking of the question, is that there's about 20,000 songs a day that Spotify gets that they have to, of course, look to listen through and then release eventually. So you're right. There's I don't want to say a saturation, because so many people during COVID were buried in their bedrooms and they wrote music after music, myself included, and maybe you too as well. I can't speak for you, but it's just one of those things where people were buried. And I've heard so many people on the radio saying that, you know, they had that time just for a year or two or three to bury themselves, and now they're releasing all this music out there. So it does become very competitive as well. But like any field that you're in, it's competitive. You have to be the best or you're not going to be on top. I really like the young people that are coming out and trying to put music out. Kudos to them, because we're getting some stuff that maybe is a little different in some ways, because then, I mean, if you have that many songs coming out, there's got to be something for everyone. So it's just finding, I think, your little spot where you're going to shine through and be a little different than everyone else. And that is what I think you have to focus on. And that is, how am I going to be different than the 20,000 others? And granted, they're all different genres, but how am I going to be different from everyone else? And I think that's what you have to ask yourself as a musician out there.
I like to jump in here. Yes, I was just going to say that it means like I would say that during the time where everybody was confronted, to writing music, our mindset was just to say, if I'm an Afrobeat musician or a reggae artist or something, I'm doing my reggae stuff. But I never thought that a day will come where the whole industry will be, have so many different kind of recordings and stuff like that. But then, how do you jump out? That's totally different.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Petra that too. In terms of reggae, how do you think reggae, or what is reggae doing that's so different? Because if you keep playing the same genre and it doesn't move at all, I'm not saying this is happening. You would be able to speak to this much better. What do you think reggae is doing to make itself stick out? Maybe that it wasn't doing before, or maybe that it's doing differently. Like I hear some artists playing reggae, and I'm kind of going, it sounds like I heard stuff like what Bob Marley was doing, like 30, 40 years ago. However, I know, Petra, I can see the look on your face already is saying, no, it isn't, it's different. Tell me what's changed, Petra. What do you think in your mind? I don't want to speak for you.
I love when you put me on the hot seat, Ron.
Oh, sorry.
That's why you wore a suit today, right? To put me on the hot seat.
to torture us, right?
This is the teacher in me coming through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can only speak from my perspective, I mean, there may be things that are occurring in reggae, but that's also a question I ask myself too, you know what I mean? And even the reggae community, we ask among ourselves, like we notice that other genres are moving a lot quicker and, are getting a lot more notoriety than reggae, because reggae, remember, had its like big break in like the 1970s, so from the 70s we've been introduced to reggae, right? So reggae in itself has offshoot into like dancehall, and then dancehall is developed into other genres like trap hall, and like there's so many different like levels to where reggae has gone. The original sound of reggae, you have to look at it like this. How I look at it, the sound of reggae is similar to like classical music. Like you're not really saying to, okay, what's classical music do now new in 2024? That's the sound. That's its sound. So reggae had this sound. I think the development of the sound is shown through the artists, And I was really excited. For me, the revival of reggae came for me when like Chronix and Protege and Lila Ike and Janine came on the scene. And Jesse Royale, and I'm sorry anyone I've missed. But when they came on the scene, for me, it was kind of like, oh wow, like reggae's getting this boost, and the youth are a lot more involved and excited about it. So I think the only way that reggae is really going to develop is through the younger generation, and it's up to them, I feel, to take it to the next level. However, not foregoing its sound. I feel like something similar could be done to reggae that was done to Afrobeat, because and also TYB, correct me if I'm wrong. Like I know Afrobeat came from another genre, right? Was that hip life or?
Yeah, it actually. Oh, it came out of It came out of High Life Music when it started at first.
Yes,
Yeah. Go ahead,
okay,
please.
awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I remember my point now. But yeah, so the same with Afrobeat coming out of High Life. I believe that something amazing and magical can come out of reggae. Like, I want to definitely shout out artists like Taurus Riley and Shinsia, because I know that they mixed reggae with like electronic dance type of sound, you know? And I thought that was very interesting, because I didn't know until I lived in Jamaica that there's a huge following for electronic dance music in Jamaica, you know? So I was like, okay, wow. So mixing that with the reggae sound definitely created a different sound. However, for it to spark something where everyone's gonna jump on the bandwagon, like how it did with Afrobeat, I don't think anything like that has been developed yet. But I do feel there's room for opportunity for that to happen, you know? So I'm excited for the future of reggae. I'm at the point where I can only just sing what music or the Most High wants me to sing. But I'm really looking forward to the next generation taking what we've done and just take it to the next level. So yeah.
You know, sorry, TYB. When she was talking, I was thinking of a group that really, I want to say, jumped on the reggae feel and really took it way up, and that's the Police. If you've listened to the Police,
very true. I like that.
Very, I'll say, very influenced by the reggae genre, and that's a group where I think that you could use as an example of what I think is going to happen, in my opinion, for Afrobeat to go boom. You're going to need a group that's going to go, yeah, we're going to steal, borrow, good artists borrow, grip. Yeah, we're going to, as Picasso said, good artists borrow, great ones steal, is steal something from Afrobeat and say, hey, look what we're doing, and we're doing something different, like I think the Police did with reggae. If you listen to Andy Summers, who's the guitar player for the Police, he plays this, does this reggae.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But Sting plays a lot like the Afrobeat bass players. I'm sorry, the reggae bass players, but it's not the same. It's just different. However, you could tell how much they were influenced by reggae. I could hear it in them, and I'm going, ooh, kudos to you guys. You stole.
But go ahead, please.
Sorry, Scribey. I just want to say one thing too. You make a good point, because I love the Police. You know, I'm British, so you know. Come on, rock on. But the thing with the reggae is very finicky. You know what I mean? I saw the development of like high life into Afrobeat and Afrobeat to AMAPIANO. I really love that. Like, in African culture, from what we're seeing, it's just like they're excited about the development of the sound, you know? It's like, okay, now it's gone from this sound to that sound to that sound. Where in reggae, it's like the minute people do something that isn't close to the original structure, and then it's like, it's a problem. Like, look at that group that won the Grammys, you know? I think it was an all-white band that won the reggae Grammy Award for reggae music. Remember, TYB?
About 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I just feel like that to me was the beginning that could have sparked something. It could have taken reggae somewhere else. But I feel like people's fear is what's stopping reggae from growing, you know? And people are so afraid of it losing its originality and, you know, and it going far off from where it originally was, that I feel like its fear is causing it to be kind of kept in a box. And the sound is a living, breathing thing. You cannot keep it down. You know what I mean? Like, even me, I can't say I sing authentic reggae because I'm not Jamaican, you know, I'm British, you know, my family's Vincy. But I do, and also I was raised with a plethora of different type of sounds of music. So when I sing, it sounds very universal. People say my sound is, you know, but the music I choose to sing on top of is reggae music. You know what I mean? So already I'm doing a variation of it. Maybe not too far of its variation, but a little bit of it. And that's what has to happen, you know? Little variations, also drastic, and people not being afraid to see where reggae is going to go. Yeah, that's my take.
So may I ask then in this particular case, how would you describe what is an authentic reggae? Authentic reggae music, because Peter Tosh had his style, Mali had his style, everybody had their style. So what is reggae? Yes. Ziggy after his father.
Yeah.
Has his own style. Everybody has their style. And let me go back before you answer that question. With the police, for instance. I mean, if we come to look at it, they also raise the ante a little bit. Get reggae out there to the to the Caucasian, if I can put it that way, community. Because we looked at the police as a rock group, and all of a sudden they came out, boom, with that track, right? And it propelled them there. Whilst it was propelling them, I don't know whether Sting did it knowing where he was going to go, because after the police, we've seen Sting doing different things, playing jazz, doing a whole lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
I think from where I sit, I think he was experimenting with sounds right from the beginning because he knew exactly where he was going. And back to what you were saying. Please go ahead, please.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I agree with you. When you're saying that artists like the police or bands like the police, they used reggae music in their music, right? And then when I say authentic sound, I feel like, yeah, you're right. Everybody has their own sound. Even me, I found my sound in Jamaica, but it still has to follow certain guidelines, you know, in order for it to be classified as reggae or sound like reggae.
What guidelines?
Wow.
What guidelines are those? Yeah, that's the question.
Like the one drop beat. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like a musician like you, Ron, where I can read music. Like my music is more like a feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. That's okay. I'm just wondering what has to stay.
Yeah, like the one drop beat and like the basic drum pattern formation. For me, what would define reggae. You know, there's a particular drum pattern or a particular beat that is like the baseline for reggae music that for me says, okay, that's the basic, that's the outline for reggae, you know? And I feel like there's a lot of artists, even mainstream artists, that take that drum pattern or take certain elements from what will be classified as the structure of reggae and implements it into their music, but they don't give reggae music that credit. Like you see the fact that the police use elements of reggae music in their sound didn't make them a reggae band. They just use elements of reggae in their music. And that is the thing that a lot of the reggae community, reggae culture is upset about. We find that a lot of the times, like, people take influences of reggae music, add it to their sound, and then that gives them their boost, but they don't give reggae any credit. They don't say, okay, you know, now my song is reggae fusion with whatever. It's not like rock reggae fusion. It's still rock, you know, with reggae influences. And that has been the problem with reggae across the board. Different genres take from it and then add it, create a sound, and boom, the sound gets the recognition, but reggae doesn't get any recognition. You know what I mean? So we in the reggae community, I feel has to do, like you said, something drastic in order for people to know, okay, this is our sound, and we're taking off with it. But again, another thing is also the younger generation. When reggae music came about in the 1970s, and again, I wasn't born in the 70s, right? So I'm an 80s baby. But I like it to go from like the books, right? But from what I've studied about reggae music at that time, it came about at a time of conflict and war in Jamaica. And you know, that was revolution music. You know, even in the 70s, it was coming out the 60s era into the 70s. So reggae was revolution music. Right now, it's like, from what I can see with the youth, I know there's many different things that they're facing, but right now, I don't feel like they're gravitating towards a revolution sound. They're looking for more of an escapism sound. Let me just put on the song and dance and forget all my problems. Where in the 70s, when reggae came out, it was more like, okay, you know what? These songs are identifying our social issues and what's going on, and these songs are amplifying that sound. So it's like the music doesn't serve the same purpose now as it did in the 70s, unless something is done right now that can connect to the youth. Whereby Afrobeat, that connects to the youth worldwide.
Yeah, I have my theory on that too.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I hear your theory, Rob.
No, I'll tell you what. I don't think Sting, for instance, from the Police, ever has hidden the fact that he was influenced by reggae. And same thing with Andy Summers, the drummer. I don't think they were ever saying, no, wow, reggae? No, we have nothing to do with that. We just decided to steal from it. I don't think that's the way they looked at it. They just used that as an influence. And it's like many genres you use as an influence. I think if Afrobeat is going to make a bigger influence, and I'm going to give away one of my secrets. No, I think one of the
You mean reggae, Ron, or you mean Afrobeat?
For Afrobeat here, because you're talking about reggae, and I know that, and I agree with you. It's something's going to happen to it. And one of the things that has changed a lot of genres, and this happens in Afrobeat, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but is that when Bob Marley and the Lights came out, what they were doing that I'm not hearing today is that they were real, I'm going to call them real musicians, because Bob, I mean, he played guitar. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you have a real guitar player. Same thing with the Police. They did as well. And he'd had that feel to it. And the bass player was a real bass player who knew that, okay, I'm not going to hit on beat one. I'm going to hit on the offbeat, which happens so much in reggae. I played in a reggae band. And it's that bass player that doesn't want to hit one. He plays off the beat. And that gives it this sort of syncopated feel, which is really good. However, that's real. Those are real musicians. However, what I think in Afrobeat, what I'm hearing too much, this is my opinion, and I know someone's going to disagree, but that's okay. I'm so used to that with working with kids and the likes for years in music. And that is, what I'm hearing too much in Afrobeat music, personally, is I'm hearing I'm hearing this drum part that I kind of go, that's not doing it for me, because it's just not in your face. And why in your face? And the song I wrote the other day actually had a real drummer grooving to that feel, but he wasn't hitting rim shots. We call them rim shots. They're that tick, 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 tick. He went like this. He was going bat, bat, and he was hitting a really good snare. And he just wasn't hitting it. He was nailing it, and with a human feel to it. And when I heard that, I was going, kudos to you, guy, because you are playing this like it's got feel to it. And it doesn't feel like a computer technician. It feels like a musician, a human. I really feel adamant about this because I feel that we're getting too many people sitting on a computer, dialing in everything that they want, but it doesn't feel like a human. And we've got to get that aspect into it. And granted, lots of Afrobeat artists are from Nigeria, where their parents were telling them, stay away from music. You better be a doctor or a lawyer. I was talking to one this week. He said the same thing. Yeah, go ahead, TYB. Yeah, sorry.
No, he was saying him too.
Oh, him too. Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, it's just one of those things where they weren't trained at music. So they're going and sitting at computers. And to me, computers are different. They play too perfectly. They do the copy, let's paste it in, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy. No. Humans, the real ones, don't do that. Go ahead, Petra.
Sorry, I got excited when you said that, because this is my worry with AI now. Like, with the influence of AI in music, I feel like, like you said, the music now is going to start becoming too perfect. What if we now have, I know there are some AI artists, you know, I know the first AI artist was signed maybe like sometime last year. But my thing is, what if now we start to have AI artists versus original human artists, you know what I mean? But then, like you said, their sound is going to be so perfect versus our sound, which is imperfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what makes music. And that's what makes it so beautiful, because out of those imperfections comes perfection, you know?
Yes.
So that's my question I want to put to both you and TYB. Like, what do you think, you know? Like, how do you think AI is going to impact music going forward with this idealism of perfectionism versus imperfectionism?
I know TYB will speak to this, I know, but one thing I want to say, as an example, the band I'm in, we play a song called This Love, and it's by Maroon 5. And so who cares, right? It's nothing to do with Afrobeat. It's nothing to do with reggae. But what I hear in the lead singer, somebody can enlighten me, I forget his name, really, really good singer for Maroon 5. And he takes the chorus, and if you listen to, and like we have had to because we played that song, is that the chorus every single time is different. Every single time. I think he sings the chorus, I think 4 to 5 times. Repetitive chorus, good for him. Kudos. but every single chorus is not exactly the same as the last.
I love that.
I know he's been putting little nuances, little oohs, little ahs
exactly
that you just need to have in a song. And I heard that and I went, pardon? Yeah, I just thought we have to, as a band, we're trying to go, well, we got to do that because, man, that part is different than the first chorus. And we're in the third chorus, and the third chorus is different. And the lead singer and I were going, he's going, ooh, ah, and the first time he just goes, ooh. I'm going, oh. Well, but with AI, is AI going to do that? No, it's going to make perfect. And to me, that's not what humans do. Humans create music with feel. And all I have to do before going over to TYB is just listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and you know feel. Go ahead, TYB.
No, I agree with that. What you guys are saying, AI would be AI. And if you are looking for perfect music, then you go for AI. But then from where I sit as an artist, I think I would love to, especially when I go into the studio, I mean, when we're listening to the playbacks and all those kind of stuff, hey, listening to the breathing, I like listening to the sliding on the guitar. I like mistakes. Yes. That makes you human as an artist. It's like performing live on stage. You don't play the same thing like on the record. Unless you want to practice one thing, maybe 200 years, and somewhere down the line, it's not going to be as perfect as you wish it to be. I quite remember we appeared, my group appeared on Much Music some years back on the Electric Circus program. And whilst we were performing, the bass player, lost a string.
That happens.
It happens too. We continued to play, even though we knew that it wasn't going to be where it's supposed to be. We continued to play. This tells us that, like, if you were to be using a playback or AI, I don't know where it's going to take us to. Are we going to have AI guitar players, AI this and on stage and stuff like that? I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take us to. But then, from where I sit, I think I love my imperfections than to have.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Petra.
I want to say one thing about that. So I just got excited because when you say that, I saw a commercial recently for Google Pixel. I don't know if you've seen the commercial, and it has they're promoting Mother's Day. So they're showing all these pictures of the children in the pictures where everything's perfect in the pictures, but the child's like this, putting this funny face, one kid's laying flat on the floor. But they're saying that with this technology, you could literally pick a face and you could put a perfect face over the imperfected face. You know what I mean? So if your child's crying, you can put a copy of the child's face happy on top. But those are the funny pictures. Those are the pictures you scroll back years from now. Look at Timmy doing that when he was 3. Yes. Oh, look at their face. If you make sure if you erase all of those imperfections and we look back over these, it's it's fake. It's not real. And that's what I really don't like about this whole AI thing. They're trying to sell us on this idea of a fake reality, starting with the music, with the pictures and the media, and who knows what else is going. The food is fake. You know what I mean? Everything's fake. Leave us, let us have music. Music is that one thing that you can take all these imperfections and put them together and create something so perfect and so beautiful, And we as humans, as artists, have to fight for this. Because in the next 5-10 years, if it's like this now, can you imagine what music's going to sound like? What the artists are going to look like? They're all going to look like these carbon copy AI models with perfect pitch singing these songs, competing against us. Who's going to win? You know what?
Yeah. There's something that I would like to bring into the conversation with respect to these perfection and imperfections. Have you all thought about classical music?
I love classical music.
Oh,
I love
it. They go by the book. So I don't think AI would be able to touch them because already, before you go into the studio, the music is written for you. The notes are written for you. You cannot make any mistake. So with them, I don't know. I'm not a classical. I'm not a violinist. I'm not a cellist. Something like that. But then, if you look at it, I think they could be in bed with the perfection that we're talking about, because it is what it is. Whereas when you take a Ron, for instance, when Ron was doing these licks on the claustrophobic thing, you could hear, yeah, he's doing it. I can hear that. And Ron can tell you that, hey, I made some slight mistake somewhere, because doing that recording will not make it perfect. You yourself know where you made a mistake. Sometimes when I'm listening to my own music, I say, geez, I should have pitched higher than this. Go ahead.
Sorry, I got a story for that. Talking about imperfection. So when I recorded the song Never Broken, right? I remember I went into the studio and I recorded it. And my voice, I wasn't issues with my voice and stuff, you know? So I remember this one part, this note, like I couldn't get it, you know? But I recorded it. I didn't care anyway. So I sent it back to the engineer to mix and master. So I got him to fix everything on this one little part of the song that I didn't fix, you know? I'm like, okay, whatever. And then it's like the opportunity came to submit to the Juno. So I said, let me just submit it, you know? So when I heard about the nomination for the song, I was happy, but I couldn't stop hearing that part. Even now, when I hear the song, when it gets that part in the song, I'm like, ugh, I just cringe, like, ugh, like it's not perfect. But it was that imperfection that makes the song great. You know what I mean? So I think over the years, I'm starting to love that little imperfection. But it's so funny that, you know, like we look at imperfection as being a bad thing, but it's not. It's our mark.
You know, I play in a band, and I tell you, there probably isn't a song we play where somebody doesn't make a mistake. But that's okay. That's a human. Humans make mistakes. We could just put the recording on for you instead, folks, if you'd like, and there won't be anything probably wrong with it. But that doesn't make it human. I love human. I mean, we have a singer. She's so good, but sure, she sings the odd note flat or sharp. I don't care. Most people aren't going to notice. What I love is that it has feel to it. I use a program because I don't have a drummer in my house, thank goodness. Otherwise, I get the neighbors would kick me out. I use a program where all the drum tracks are recorded by humans. Ooh. And if you look at it, the way it lines up with exactly where the beat is, they are behind, they are ahead, they go back and forth. They are sometimes bang on, and because I have to go really, I have to go way into the screen when I'm using my DAW, and I have to look at it and go, oh, yeah, he's not playing right on the beat, but so be it. That's okay. Yeah. That's what humans do. But I hear too many songs where I'm hearing with the youth of today where they program them in, and they just quantize the whole works, which quantize means they just make it absolutely everything line up perfectly.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfectly. And I go, yeah, no, sorry. I hear this a lot in Afrobeat. I hear this a lot in most genres. Yeah. So it's not just Afrobeat. This isn't a pick on Afrobeat. It's not a pick on any genre. I hear it in lots. And here's something I told Fasil this the other day. I said, if you listen to music before the age of our DAW, and say Motown as an example, great genre, Motown. If people haven't listened to Motown, you have to listen to Motown. Some of the best vocals out there. One of the things I said is, if you listen to it and you put a metronome to it, you'll notice within 30 seconds, it's not in time. Because humans don't play in time. They can't. It's impossible for a human to play perfectly in time. If you put a metronome onto a Motown song, it won't go. However, if you listen to a song in today's music and you put a metronome on, it will follow the song almost perfectly the whole way through it. Other than a live performance, because humans can't play perfectly, other than a live performance, anything recorded today is almost perfectly, absolutely, it goes tick, 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 just like a metronome. And to me, that's losing the feel. It just loses the feel. And folks, this is something that's really in my heart.
Yeah.
I can feel your passion, Mr. Mollinga.
I know.
And folks, you are listening to Love Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, and the program is Highway 6 to Africa. We're still battling to get EeQue, who is in somewhere in Uganda, and now we're trying to get hold of him through his managers. I think they are having some technical difficulties with respect to Wi-Fi and others. But hey, the conversation continues. Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. We are here every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But thanks to Nos Designs, yes, we are having an interesting conversation. If you want to join us, hey, join us. And then let's have this great conversation. Because you know what? There's more to talk about with respect to music. And when we come here, we just don't interview or have conversations with artists. We have conversation within the music industry as a whole. And if you're listening to us, well, and if you are watching us, well, we are all learning something. I love the Afrobeat music. Now, folks, now we are going to also look at, I mean, we have been talking about a lot about AI. And I don't think AI would leave us anytime soon. But I think it's got its attendant legal issues that we haven't looked at. So I'm going to encourage my son and others to go into AI, the legal area, if they've created any legal framework for lawyers to be going after AI, whatever, or whoever programmed it. Because to me, from where I sit, there's no AI. Who programmed it? It was a human being.
It's true. It's
yes,
exactly.
It is a human. What goes in is what comes out. So who programmed it? So this is where we have to look at it. Were musicians involved in this? Who was involved in this? The whole AI thing. It's scary. We haven't gotten to a point where we will sit back and say, wait a minute. The whole thing is, are we going to be able to perform live? Because now, if you're an artist, you just cannot sit in the studio and expect your CDs to be sold. The whole social media area is saturated. Ron says I shouldn't use that word. Has a lot of music out there. And if everybody is going to buy a track for say 99 cents and stuff like that, how many times is somebody going to listen to your track? Unless you are in the top tier. But then where you'll be able to make your money is going out there to perform. And this is where the whole thing is all about. So there have been so many artists. I was talking to somebody, says, oh, that artist, man, he's not good. As a matter of fact, from my own experience, so many years ago, a couple of years ago, I'll say, this guy came out with a track, one of these old, vinyls thing. And, he showed up, and all of a sudden, when I listened to the track, oh my Lord, the voice was in the east, and the instrumentation was in the west. You know what? So I would say that this AI thing is going to be a problem. But then, having said that, well, we've been able to reach EeQue, and EeQue is going to be joining us momentarily. EeQue is with us. So, you know what?
What's good?
You made it.
You made it, man. Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. You know what?
Better late than never.
Better.
Yeah. Ish, I'm from a gig tonight. Yeah, so Ish, I was doing gigs. So yeah, I was on stage when you had to be online.
Oh my God.
The life of an artist.
Life of an artist. Thank you for taking this time to join with us. I know it's late over there, wherever it may be.
It's like 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. It's too early for me to go to bed. 11 is too early for me.
11 is too late for me. That's my bedtime.
Well, thank you.
Me too.
That's right. Thank you, EeQue, for joining us today. And we are so proud. We are so honored to have you with us. And I'm so glad that you've joined us today. And we know that you've worked with some of the greats in the business. Focalistic was with us. He's my brother. Yes, we had a conversation with him over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, Petra. And we had a very great time. And acknowledging the fact that South Africa is on a roll in terms of the music revolution. How did it all get started, EeQue?
I don't
With
know,
respect
man.
to you.
I think I just started making music with my friends, and like that's I don't know. From then on, we just grew. You know, I just took it more serious. Like, yeah, I just took it more serious. Like I just pushed it, and yeah, we here now.
Yes, it's
Just
been a
like,
long wait, right?
here we are.
Yeah. Well, that was very. So you started recording with the, friends, and all of a sudden, bingo! You decided, okay.
Yeah, like I started recording my friend's brother had a studio, so yeah, that's how we started. We just used to like go there and just fool around, you know, as just like young kids, and then yeah, we just made that our playground. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah, it does. And that I mean, do you regret it?
Nope, because I was never a sport person, so
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
You gotta be
Petra.
smart to navigate the music though, so you're smart. You're good. You know. So yeah, so I wanted to ask you, EeQue, it's a pleasure. Petra, nice to meet you. So I wanted to ask you a question. So I wanted to ask you, so what are your goals for your music now that you're here? Like, what are your goals for your music? Like, what do you want EeQue to achieve, you know, or to be known
So,
for?
like I want like my music like to like reach like greater heights, like you know, like mass, like I don't know, like just grow, you know. Jokes. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, like I want my music to grow. Like I'm trying to reach like a wider audience, and yeah, that's why we're going so hard, you know. And I want people to like really relate with my music, not just for like vibes or you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, most definitely. I love that. I'm gonna pass it on to Ron. Kind of time wise. Go ahead, Ron.
Sure, yeah. I saw in your bio, highly influenced by the likes of Phil Collins. Um, However, when you say a large audience, what does a large audience mean to you? Millions, billions? Who are you trying to reach when you say a large audience? I
worldwide,
think,
like everyone. I'm trying like worldwide, everyone, like every
okay.
country. At least like if I can have like I don't know supporters in every city, then yeah, I'd say then I'm reaching or I'm
Do you,
living my yeah.
I bet you these two know where I'm going to go with this. Do you sing everything in English, where most people, which is what most people, not most, a lot of people in this continents or this world sing? Do you sing everything in English? I noticed I didn't hear anything in English. That's why I asked.
No, no, I don't. But like I try to fit it in, like you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
I spend like music is mostly like our languages, like Zulu, Sutu, Pedi, Xhosa, you know. But like we try. We really trying to like break that thing and like, you know, start doing like AMAPIANO, like more of like like English AMAPIANO. I don't know, something like that. So there's some people
When's
like outside can more to the music.
when's the last time you listened to a Greek song?
A Greek song.
Yeah.
Wow, I'd love to try that. I'm not saying I wouldn't.
I asked for a reason. I asked for a reason. Why would people want to listen to you if you're not singing in English then?
I don't know, because I don't know.
It's a question you might want to ask.
I don't know. I mean, like music is music. Like, do you really need to like? I feel like if you read the lyrics or you go through the lyrics, if you like a song, then you can understand better. You know. So yeah.
I think,
So
yeah,
I'm sure you have a lot of songs that you know, but you don't know what they mean, but you like them. You know what I'm saying?
awesome.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah, I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, Ron, go ahead, please.
No, I could go on with this. I think
Yeah.
you two know where I'm going with this. But anyways, go ahead, Petra.
Yeah. So EeQue, I have a question for you. I don't know if you've been asked this question before, or it might sound a bit redundant, right? But with the success of artists like Tyler now being pushed to the mainstream, Like, are you seeing an effect, or what effect do you think it's gonna have on the South African music scene on a worldwide level? Like taking the artist to the mainstream. Do you feel like she's like a Drake where she's opening the door? Or do you
Yeah,
feel like, or what's your take on that?
I feel like South African artists like really need to grow to that level. We don't just need to be like known in our country, you know. Like we need to like grow to that level. So Tyler making those moves, like Tyler, Black Coffee, a few artists in South Africa, like they going that global. You know what I'm saying? So that really inspires some of us to like, yo, we need to go harder. You know. So I feel like it's a great thing, great motivation that's really possible.
Yeah.
What language did she sing Water in?
English. What do you mean?
English.
No, but
yes.
She's a pop star. You need to understand. Some of us are from the hood. We represent the hood. You know what I'm
Probably a million. She's probably getting to be a millionaire.
Yeah, like I'm saying, our hoods won't really, I don't know, connect with the music if now every song that we're doing is English based. You know what I'm saying? Understand it touches like a wider reach or whatever, but like yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because I wanna touch on what EeQue is saying, because the only reason why I hear what you're saying, Ron, about Tyler, because that made her mainstream. But if you look at the wide success of Afrobeat music in general, like not all of it is sang in English, right? So I do feel there's definitely room for artists, not even just from South Africa, but from all over Africa, even worldwide, to be able to take their sound international. Now, I do believe there has to be some English in there. Like I do believe there has to be some.
Somewhere
Whereas,
like
but what do you think, EeQue?
yeah, I feel you, cause like look at Davido, Whiskey, like they don't not all the songs are sang like what's
in English.
Yeah, in English. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So understand like Nigeria has like a wider population all around the world, but like not all the songs are sang like in English. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does not really matter if it's English or not. I don't feel like that should be a boundary for music to move.
When's the last time you read a book in 3 different languages?
I read a book. Hey, I'm sorry, I don't read books. I read books.
In more than one language.
Huh?
In more than one language.
No, I don't know. I don't read books. I don't want to lie.
No.
EeQue. Listen, if you don't read books, that's one thing, but make sure you read contracts, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Good advice, Petra. Good advice.
Great. EeQue, let me ask you this. It says that you've worked with some of the greats, Focalistic and Uncle Waffles and the other guys.
Yeah.
How was your connection with Focalistic? Because I find him to be one of the greats. When we had a conversation with him a couple of years or a year ago or so, we found him very, very outspoken. And is it synonymous with all South African artists out there, or what is it? And the second part of it is, how did you meet, and how was the whole atmosphere working with him?
So starting to work with Focalistic, we worked like on a song like I think 3 years back with Marco. Marco is a good producer, like, you know what I'm saying. So we worked on a song like I met him like 3 years ago. I think it's three. Yeah, I think 3 years ago, 4 if not 4. So yeah, we're doing hip hop by then, not yet like jumped into like AMAPIANO. So yeah, so it was not a weird thing to be in studio or like to work together. You know what I'm saying? Because like we kind of like had that thing that like we kind of know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we've worked before. It's not that we haven't worked before. So even like in the studio, like the environment was just clean. You know what I'm saying? So it was not a hectic thing. So yeah, that's how we made the other songs.
With where you are right now, 40 million streams and all those things, how do you feel? Because you're just starting out. I mean, you are a star. How do you feel being a breakout star, 40 million streams and all those kind of stuff, touring and all those kind of stuff? How do you feel about it? Because as an artist myself, and as Petra, as a musician, as Ron, if we hear our music being played and where we reached, we feel so happy about it. How do you feel where you are right now?
I feel happy. I wouldn't say I don't feel happy. I feel happy. Yeah. Thing is, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm gonna explain whatever that's going on right now. Even my friends ask me, "How do I feel?" I don't know. Like, you know, I don't know.
There's got to be a point where you feel proud of what you've done because you are
I feel
really
proud, but like I can't explain the feeling. Like it's not something that I can explain.
Because I just want to say, like, you have to understand EeQue, like, that's not a regular thing, right? So your friends are like, they want to know what it feels like to have 40 million people to know you, 40 million people to know your music. That is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you one question off that, like on the other side of it, like with all your fame and success in music, what do you do to keep grounded?
I don't know. I remind myself that like, yo, we're doing this for like a bigger cause. It's not just the end of it, and we still need to go harder. Because I told you, I want to be like WizKid and one day. So I can't let this phase like disturb that dream. Because you know what I'm saying. So I'm just.
No, I would disagree. EeQue, I would disagree with you. You don't want to be like WizKid. You want to be like EeQue.
Yeah,
because you want to be like you,
no,
not WizKid.
I hear you. I'm just saying like that level of artistry. Like I want to be at that level, like or maybe above. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you are there. You are. Don't underestimate yourself. You are there. You are there. Don't underestimate. Do not underestimate yourself because a lot of artists right now would like to have 40 million people listening to you. The 40 million is the number is larger than the population of Canada. I'm telling you. So having 40 million, you have arrived. Please do not want to be like somebody. Be like yourself. Because when I was starting out as a musician myself, right, I wanted to be somebody. But when I got to where I wanted to be, I looked at myself as, well, I sweated. I did all the night work and did whatever I had to do to reach where I had to do. Whereas that person was asleep. So you've arrived, my brother. I'm telling you, you've arrived. Do not think that you want to be somewhere. Where you are right now, tens of thousands of millions or whatever artists would like to be where you are because you are a star. Do not underestimate that. And I appreciate your candidness and that you are here, that we're talking to you because of who you are. There are so many artists out there who have been read there and who are trying to get onto the program. They can't because, you know what? They are who they are. So, you know what? Where you are right now, you've arrived. Do not underestimate that. And we are proud, so much proud of you for what you're doing. And continue to do that. Because the three of us here are all artists. We've paid our dues. I've paid my dues over the years. Because when I came to Canada, when I was in Toronto, starting out, there was not even a single place for African music to be heard. I persevered. I never gave up. And today, you know what? I've done whatever I have to do to even to the extent of co-founding this radio station to give a platform to artists around the globe. To come and tell them, to come and give their stories to them. Because it was a calling for me to do. And I've done it. And nobody can take it away from me. So I'm proud of what I've done. So be proud of what you've done. Do not think of WizKid. WizKid at one stage would not have reached where you are. But today he has worked hard and he's gotten to where you are. So you know what? You are doing something great. That's why you have the 40 million streams, and that's 40 million streams may have been about 2 months ago. Right now, maybe it's about 60. You never know. So I'm proud of you. Keep on doing what you're doing. And then my question to you is success. How do you measure success?
when you've inspired like enough people and you've changed a lot of people's lives, yeah, I feel like that's success.
So now you see exactly we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
So people love what you're doing. So keep on doing it. So who has been your inspiration in all of this?
Ricky Rick. Do you guys know Ricky Rick? You don't know? He's a South African.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. And who would you like to collab with?
Yo. Drake.
Oh,
Canadian. He's a Canadian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lives in Toronto.
Oh, awesome. That's why Drake?
I don't know. He's never fumbled. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
he knows what he's doing.
It's powerful.
Yeah, hey, I have a question. I ask every artist this. When you go about writing songs, what approach do you take? For instance, do you say, oh, I know this is in D minor, it's got one flat, and I'm going to make sure that it goes D minor, B flat, C, or do you just take everything and throw it into a sample and put it onto your computer?
Yeah, I just do it like that. I don't know. That's why I said, like, I wouldn't say I'm a person that studied music to that point. I don't even like me, to be honest, ne? I don't know D minors and whatever, but I know I'm always on key. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same.
You just go boom and then you do it. Right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious because I know a lot of artists we talk to do that. I'm the other way around. I'm the guy that says, hey, I'm going to do a song in G minor. And hey, this has two flats. Okay, we're going to start with that, and I can go somewhere with this and know where I'm going to go, and I don't have to go grab sample. So, do you find that's easier? Do you just find a beat somewhere? What do you start with?
I have a lot of producer friends. Sorry. So yeah, mostly it's just send beats. They come to studio, or I go to their studio, and then we just work out something. We always work like that.
So, are you looking for beat makers or songwriters?
Beat makers. I write my own songs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
Folks, we are in conversation with the amazing EeQue. Well, he is, he just got off performing, and I know the time there, wherever he is, it's late, but I would like to thank him for the time, because we're supposed to have done this maybe 3 times. You are very lucky, because we kept waiting for you for 3 times, three consecutive times. But here you are, and we are enjoying this conversation. I'm proud of you. I would like to tell you that. And before we came on air, I was talking to somebody and saying that a lot of people are now focusing their attention to Nigerian music, Afrobeat music. But then they've forgotten about the fact that South Africa was there right from the beginning, from Miriam Makeba, so many great artists out there. So I'm so happy that you are continuing with the revolution, and in this particular case, with the AMAPIANO genre that we've all come to become accustomed with. What do you in your leisure hours? What do you do?
What?
In your leisure hours, after touring and all those kind of stuff, after your spare time, what do you do? Do you take time off, or you continue to write music?
For fun, I sleep. Yeah, that's my life.
Exactly.
After all the touring, yeah. So,
I had a question for EeQue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one quick question. So I wanted to ask you, because you've accomplished so much at such a young age, and I wanted to ask you, what advice do you have for even younger EeQue coming up that wants to follow in your footsteps? Because you've spoken about people who've inspired you, but I know there's probably some young people out there that look up to you, EeQue, and would love to hear some advice from you.
I think just believe in themselves and find out what they're doing, like, yeah, that's all. I just believe in them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like
Go ahead. Yeah.
One thing, yeah, I feel like one thing that makes people like doubt themselves, that like coming up is really hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not nice. You know? Yeah, it's not nice until you get that first one hit song, and then now you need to cook up another one and another one, another one. So like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I wanted to
yes.
ask you, so what is it that keeps you going? You know, because like you said, it's so hard to get your first bus. So in between when you first started until you got your first like piece of success, what was it that really kept you hanging on? Because a lot of people, they quit before they even get that big break. What was it for you that made you hang on?
I feel like the more I inspire people and the more I get like new fans, like supporters every day, the more I go harder. It's like, yo, crazy, you know? When you're like traveling and whatever, and you see like people all across the world, like, I don't know, supporting you and whatever, it's feeling, you just need to go harder.
So it allows you to kind of see like the impact of your music on a larger scale. You see it? Would you say that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, no. For your performances, do you have real musicians on stage, a DJ? What are your performances like?
It's just me and my DJ only.
So just two of you then. Okay.
And my question. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Ron looks worried.
No. I just
saw that, right?
No, I'm not worried at all. I play in a live band.
I'm sweating like, oh my gosh, no band members or
no.
Oh god, just kidding.
Yeah, I really want to like a live band one day, you know.
I highly recommend it. It's great. There's nothing like it.
But that's the thing, because you still need to like just grow more as an artist to actually be at that level, because that one needs you to like really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say this because I went to a huge concert, and the artist is like world-renowned artist, and she went on to stage, and all it was dancers with her. And I told my brother as well, and he and I were just going, oh, you got to be kidding. Because we thought the performer was going to have, like she normally has, huge bands with her, and she didn't. And we both felt that was a waste of time, because you don't even get to see the band members play. So that was just the reason I asked, is because lots of people like to see musicians on stage with you. That's just a question I have as a person that plays so much live.
I feel like I'm definitely gonna get on like that level. It's not a thing that's not been on my mind. It is, but I just need to like work more, and then also be able to like have the capacity. Like, no, man. Yeah, capacity and there's this word I'm looking for. Okay, let me just say capacity to like handle that thing. You know what I'm saying?
It costs a lot more money, but you'll find you'll have a lot more people. Yeah, but you'll find you'll have a lot more people coming out to see you too.
Exactly. So balance out.
It does balance.
I was gonna say, with your sound EeQue, with a live band, it would take it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I
even
agree.
Try a live band session and compare that sound to like your production, like the beats and stuff, and then see, because I'm a reggae artist, right? So I started off just by singing on beats and on tracks because I couldn't afford a band, But the opportunities that I've been backed with a band, like my sound and my performance is like a whole nother level, because I love live instruments. You feel it, And for me, like, music is a living, breathing thing. So when you play instruments, they're alive. So now that activates that vibrational frequency, will activate your vibrational frequency. But I find like when you have like beats that have been produced, for me, I feel like the sound is dead. It's not a living sound. It's a corpse. It was recorded and it's just there, But instruments, they're alive. So you add that to you, it's a whole nother experience. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah, you'll feel what a real band can do behind you, and you will be blown away by how loud, first of all, it is. It is incredibly loud, and it has something to it that canned music, I'll call it canned, DJ music can never do. But that's just my opinion. And I know Jeff was saying the same. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, EeQue, Ron dressed up for the show.
For you, EeQue.
No, for you, EeQue, Ron dressed up for the show.
Wear a suit for you.
And my last question to you, if I know you're tired, is what next? Do you have a world tour? Are you releasing new stuff? What should fans expect?
I feel like there's only one answer to that. Like, what's next? It's just more music. I just need to more music. There's no other answer. Like, what next? Just more music, connected to people, more shows, more traveling, more interviews, more everything. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
More real musicians.
Yeah.
Get in touch. Get in touch with more musicians rather than technicians.
Yeah.
I like that, Ron.
Yeah, musicians instead of technicians. That'll bring your sound up twice fold.
Yeah.
That's
I hear you.
And how can people reach EeQue?
On all socials is EeQue_ the Dreamer. So it's EeQue _DREAMA. Like Dreamer with an A, not ER.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? And what do you want to tell your fans? What should they expect? I understand you are going to release some new stuff.
Hey.
We know
they should just expect more music.
More music,
more vibes.
That's right. Well, you are in the same camp as Ron, because Ron just released with a Nigerian artist Fasil a track called Claustrophobic. He's been collaborating with a Nigerian artist and is doing so great. So you know what? You are at home with us. We are all artists here. So the questions and the conversation that we are having right now is to let people know who you are, not as the artist, but as a human being, as an ordinary person who worked his way from the bottom and working your way up. So whatever we ask you is, we've been through it before. I've been through so many interviews and stuff like that. But today I'm behind the mic asking questions. So you know what? You are at home. You can come back anytime you want. Anytime you want. This is your radio station, and that's Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your #1 African Caribbean online radio. We've been playing your music 24/7. We have been doing that, and we will continue to do that. And my best track is Jika. Is it? How do you pronounce that? Is it Jika or Jika or Jika?
Jika.
I love it. Jika. I love it. I love it.
It's unreleased. I'm still gonna drop it. You see, you have exclusive music.
Your music is different. And I love it.
It's nice. It's really great.
Yeah.
It's great. Well,
I don't play it for the people. And then
and continue. Yeah, you said something that you want to reach a wider audience. Don't you forget about it. We are behind you. We'll support you in any which way we can promote you, because hey, you are on the right track. We went through that. We've been in the trenches, and we have to help you and every new artist out there. We here, we don't charge anybody to make music and bring music here. It's not a popular radio station. If the music is clean, we play it, because we want to give the voice to the voiceless. We don't want musicians out there doing great stuff to go and pay DJs to play their music on the radio. This is what we do best. I love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. Come back anytime. And thank you once again for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us, coming off stage to be with us. We thank you for that.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank
All
you.
the best to you.
Bye-bye.
All the best to you.
Bye.
Bye. Folks, this is where the rubber meets the road. And I think we had a very great conversation with him. He's a young artist, and sometimes and most times we have to guide and guard them, because we've been in the trenches.
Yeah.
We have to be able to do what we do best. And then folks out there, when we ask questions, it's not that we want to do a gotcha moment. We want them to feel as human as possible, because they were humans before they got to where they were, and they are still humans. So, you know what? Any comment before we check out, Ron?
I just say it's great talking to young people to see where they're at, what they're doing, and see if they're doing things differently. I love doing that to see where things are going, and see if they're going to do something. What they're doing next. That's the kind of stuff that's great.
Petra?
Yes, TYB. What a wonderful interview. It was really great speaking with EeQue. Very talented, very smart individual. Doesn't matter what he says. He's very, very smart. You know what I mean? He has a lot of drive, and I feel like he's on a great trajectory. Thank you, Kingy. Thank you. Okay, Kingy, Mama's talking. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try and talk, but I'm shy with kisses. Thank you.
Oh, he loves you.
Yeah, he does, my baby. But I was gonna say, from talking to artists like EeQue, I feel like he's on a really great trajectory. One thing that you said, Ron, and I feel like I would love to see this incorporated. I feel like not just in Afrobeat, but also in reggae, like a lot of like quote unquote urban sounds, is the influence of learning how to like understand music and read music. Like I know a little bit, but I feel like so many of these types of artists, myself included, I've managed to get to where I've gotten to without it. So I can only imagine with it where I could go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because learning musical theory can only add to your sound. It'll make. So when you jump on stage, I love when I meet musicians like you, Ron. That's like, okay, so E major or F sharp, whatever. I don't know that, but just to be able to know the technical aspect and know where you are, I find like when I sing, I kind of have to feel my way. I don't just know off the bat, but with that added influence of knowledge, I can only imagine where my music could go. So I would love to see that incorporated with a lot of the younger artists, because I feel like, because you have to understand, like, it's music and having a musical career for me are two different things, because when you're speaking to an artist like EeQue, he knows what to do. Make your own music, interviews, tour, performances. That's what it is, but you can get lost in the routine of it and not really get a chance to embrace the music and explore the music and see where the music will take you. And I feel like people are so much more focused on having a career making money than embracing music and that sound, and then really figuring that out. I feel like I'm blessed because I got the opportunity in Jamaica. I left Canada. I wanted to find myself in Jamaica, and I found my sound. My song Love is Eternal is my sound, but it took me almost 10 years to find my sound, but it was going there that helped me to find it. You know what I mean? So that's just what it was.
Yeah, it really does help, Petra. Like when we were talking about Phil Collins, I told him he was into that, and I thought of it In the Air Tonight, and I know it's in D minor. It's in D minor, C, B flat. Those are the only chords he uses in it, but the song just kills. And this cool drums where I know exactly what he's playing. He comes in. I just thought, but that's because I've examined songs like that. It's not woe is wrong. It just really helps when you can understand and when you look through music and you can say, hey, this is an E major. I know it's 4 sharps, and I know we can go to A, we can go to B, B7, whatever we want to do. It just brings up your odds a whole bunch, and not only your odds. I think you shouldn't even say it like that. I should say it just brings up your knowledge of what else you can do. Hey, we did this song. What else can we do now? So it's just, I can't stress how I like talking to musicians rather than technicians. I will continue to say that because there is nothing like a musician compared to a technician.
For sure. I'll say one more thing because I know TLB want to wrap up the show, but I just want to say that's what I think is missing in the industry. Like, people are so quick to use these young people, you know, when they're young and have songs and get them to perform. And it's like they're not really embracing the journey of music. It's just go out there, do what you need to do. Here's some money. I got paid and that's it. It's bigger than money. So I feel like people who are, you know, working with these younger artists, you need to, you know, get them some musical theory lessons, teach them about music, the music itself, not just the business of music. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, and I agree with you. What you say, you just took the wind out of what I was going to say, Petra.
Yeah.
You see, right now, as we look at it, he's young. Just like you said, oh, you're making good music, just good music, you tour, you do this, the A, B, C, D, E, F. But what the industry doesn't teach is, as a young person, this is how you do interviews. This is how you perform off stage. This is how you do this. But this is what the industry lacks. And it's very, you know, like sometimes you ask questions, expecting certain answers, and they take it lightly. Because right now, we are listening, the whole world is listening to us. But initially, he was taking it lightly until he realized that, whoa, I have to be very cautious with what I say. It came naturally. I saw that.
Yeah. I saw it too. Yeah. Exactly.
Because I saw him going that way. That's why I came out and then gave him that little advice there.
Yes.
Because he has to understand that the three of us are artists, giving him an artistic kind of advice. Now he realized it. And this is what the industry doesn't teach them.
Exactly.
But what I admire about you, TYB, is you were so much into giving him kudos. And just, you know, I thought that was really, really nice of you to just boost. I don't want to say boost him because he needs it. No, it was just so nice that you were positive. Like you are just doing so well.
Yeah, because because I found out that he wasn't giving me the answers that I wanted. Because the whole world is listening to him. He's young. He's not being trained or he's not being a coach to say that if you go on the radio, these are some of the things that you have to do.
Exactly.
This is what you have to do there.
Artistic
development is lacking right now
in the industry.
Absolutely.
But remember why they want them to be uneducated so they can just here go record music, here go to the show, here's your money, I'll call you when the next show is. When it's so much bigger than that. You know what I mean? So artists now, especially the young ones, don't wait for someone to tell you what to do. You have the internet. Go seek it out. When they go on shows like Love Bay and they get to speak with more veteran artists who are more seasoned, listen more for some advice. Take notes. You know what I mean? Development is all around.
Absolutely, Petra. You have it bang on. That's right. We are all people that have been out in the industry for years and years and years and know this. I would be going, how big can my ears go? You know, that's what I would be thinking.
I'm gluing my ear to you, like, hello, where you go, I'm going.
You see, I got touched by the fact that I know he had just gotten off the stage.
I know.
He was tired.
Yeah.
But then I had to get him to settle down because we are speaking to the world. A lot of people are listening to you. So don't give me those little short answers. I want you to bring you back. That. Yes, I want you to I want to bring you back to focus on what we are doing because you can make music, thousands of music, and it may not be hits.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be like Wizkid at one stage was like you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly.
Now he's dead. So don't try to tell me that you want to be like Wizkid. You can never be Wizkid. You can be EeQue.
Exactly.
Be you.
Be you. Be who you are.
Yeah.
These are some of the things that a lot of young artists or most artists, I want to sing like Burna Boy. No, sing like you.
Yeah.
There's already a Burna Boy.
There's already a Burna Boy. There can be two.
Yeah.
How many more do we need?
That's right.
Because I just want to say one thing. You both say such wonderful points, but we also have to understand the mind of like a young musician too. Because when I was young, I wanted to be Whitney Houston. I wanted to be all of these because they were the epitome of success. When I say mine, they were like, okay, Petra at that time wasn't success. It's like, okay, I want to be that person, but we're in a time now where it's like, to be like a Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston, like those kind of careers, I don't think artists are gonna have those anymore. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You know what I mean?
But yes,
at this stage, it's like artists have everything that they need. You know what I mean? When it comes to support, you can establish your own fan base online, your own community. There's so many independent radio stations. Like you can be a success. You know what I mean? But you really, at the same time, you have to do the work and really understand the arena that you're in and not wait for someone just to tell you. You have to develop yourself too. Yeah.
If I was him, you know what? There's a question I would ask. Oh, this sounds so strange, but I would have said, how can I get a hold of all three of you?
I like that.
That's the question I would have probably asked back.
Yeah, exactly.
How do I get in touch with you? Because it's just a contacts are contacts. Yeah. You never know what will happen from them.
Exactly.
But all in all, it was a great, short conversation. And we hope he took some of our advice, because like, it's not a gotcha. We got you. No. You didn't say this. No. We are learning about the music industry. We're still learning. But then we have to be conversant with our environment, where we are, how we say things, how we do things and stuff like that. Because if we are in the spotlight, the light is going to shine on us until we get into the darkness. And until then, folks, thank you for letting us into your space and time. We're glad that you are able to listen to us. Join us again next week, Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will bring you another edition of Highway 6 to Africa. On behalf of myself, DJ TYB, the place to be, Petra and Ron, we say, have a very wonderful weekend, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love you, fam.